Okay, here we are back once again with this server. Here's the disk arrangement right now. This is really intended to be a temporary machine, but as I've said in the past, there's nothing more permanent than a temporary solution, and I'm not in a situation where I can get rid of it at this point in time. So I gotta keep it working, and recently I ran into a problem with this machine and the external hard drive that's attached to it. And you can see the power usage sitting at idle basically right now. I've seen it get to about double that full usage, so while it was powering up. So what I'm going to do, because as you can see here, I really don't need a 1 terabyte drive, so I'm going to pull that, and I'm going to have to replace this. I have 2 drives here, a 320 and a 500. These were pulled out of the box that was over there, the old T5400. And I think that that's been running long enough now that I don't need to worry about these, so I'm going to put these in the 2 5¼ inch bays, and that will replace this, and then this drive, once that's done, is going to be replaced by this. Maybe, if this actually works. If it doesn't, well, I've got other 2 terabyte drives sitting around that I'll go ahead and throw in there instead. But I'm curious what the power usage is going to jump to once I've got 3 drives in here instead of just 1. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and shut this down. Okay, they're in there. Let's see if they're both being detected by the machine. 81, 83, 70. Okay. It did go up a little bit, I think, in terms of wattage, maybe. SATA information. Neither drive is showing up. I don't understand how that's possible. So, good and bad news, I guess. I don't know. The good news is one of these drives is actually working. That concludes the good news portion of our broadcast, because look at that. Not really sure what happened there, but that's not going to work. So that's broken, so now I've got this adapter. But the other problem is that this drive is completely toast. Completely toast. It's junk. Like, it doesn't even, well, it does spin up, but it just sits there and clicks, and when it shows up here, you get 0.0 gigabytes. It doesn't work. So I'm going to have to replace it. And I guess I'm going to replace it with this, which is another 500. I don't need that much space, but it's what I've got sitting around, so. Okay, after a fashion, all the drives are accounted for now. How much do you want to bet that one of them has got bad smart data? That's why I haven't put the faceplate back on the machine yet. Oh yeah, wouldn't you know? When the camera battery died, even that can't work properly when I'm trying to make a video. But yeah, there you go. One pending sector. But it's pending, so I can't use the drive anyway. And I'm not going to sit here and wait for it to do a full format. So we'll see. It's the top drive, because the serial number is right there. And it matches that. We can double check that by looking at the other one, which is WCAY. And yeah, it matches. So this has to come out. And of course, that's the one that's the biggest pain in the butt to get in and out. Go figure. Go figure. Alright. Exit that. And we'll do the same thing here. Shut it down. This is unplanned. Okay, because I've decided I don't want to endure the sheer pain of having to change all this crap all over again, we're going to go with 1 drive. And I'm going to transfer all of the data off of the 1 terabyte that's in there now I'd like to get a different case for this before I start adding all these different drives, because this case is really just not built for this. Not having that third drive in there. Use your power usage. Jump. Like almost 10 watts just for one hard drive. Holy crap. But anyway, not having that there meant I could shove that giant Medusa up there instead of having to deal with it dangling all over the place here, and I can actually see what I'm working on down here, which is such a novel concept. Hopefully I didn't disconnect the drive by accident trying that, but I think we're okay. So we'll go to the admin tools, we'll go to the computer management, and we'll do the usual blah blah blah, all the stuff that we need to do. We'll initialize, and we'll give it a name, VM2, sure, why not? Perform your format. Not the greatest sign in the world. Not the greatest sign in the world at all. That was supposed to be a quick format, and it is not working. I wonder if I accidentally bumped the power connection going to that drive. Awesome! Cool! Because why not? Why would anything work when I try to work on it? Well, we'll give it like 20 minutes, and maybe it'll actually work. Well, this is where we're at now. For some reason, I don't know why, it will not format this drive. It refuses to format this drive. So fine. If that's the game that you want to play, that is the game that you are going to lose. And you're going to look stupid while you're doing it. This is my solution to this problem. I now have 2 drives down there. One of which is a Seagate drive. Guess what? Working just fine. No problems. That's the top drive, the Western Digital there, which is just here because it exists. And that's not what I want. There's the other 500. So I'm going to do some drive letter shenaniganery later. Wow. I'm going to open this up. Inaccessible my rear end. Because the drive changed. We're going to remove all of these, and like I did with the other machine down there, I'm going to move these manually, so that way I can actually see what the hell is going on. So, here's the plan. This, I don't really need that, but this one's going to go to one of them. Doesn't really matter which one. There's the speed at which it's transferring. And I guess the other 2, which now I don't know which ones are which, are going to go to that. And then I can change this drive. Okay, now that that transfer is complete, let's get out of all this crap. We'll shut it down. We'll shut it down. And we'll change this drive. How much do you want to bet it's going to fight me on this one too? I hope not. Well, in what is probably a sign of the first bit of trouble, it doesn't want to go all the way in, and I'm tired of fighting with it, so hopefully it's connected. I'm just going to let it boot straight into the operating system. Now it's there. Seems to be working just fine. But the other drive did that too, so let's just check. GPT, new simple volume, next, letter D. This is a self-contained machine now, or at least it will be. I'm going to let that format, which it did. Holy crap, how hard is that? Alright. So, that's now good to go. I'm going to close all this crapola out. And we are once again going to shut the machine down, and I'm going to put it back where it was and the rack. Okay, I can't switch to it right now because the power is off to the machine. So we'll come around here, power it on. Of course. What a pain in the ass. Why has there always got to be something in the damn fan after I put all the covers on it? Okay, I got the cable out of the stupid CPU fan, and now it's booting, which is good. I like it to do that. I would also like it if it picked up on my network, which it did. So we're now logged in. I can close that. And the last thing I need to do, all the drives are still there, is take this and put it there. And that'll probably take forever. And I'm not going to sit here and waste your time with that. So, there you go. A really mostly failed, but in the end, perfectly working upgrade and disk change, just so I can get rid of an external drive on a machine that really doesn't need an external drive. Eventually, I guess I'm going to get a different case for it that will allow me to put drives in it properly, because the one that's in there now certainly won't. I hate those cases for anything other than a single drive setup, because they're really not meant for it. So, there you go. If you've got any comments, leave them below, unless you're going to say, well, maybe you shouldn't get so angry with your machines. You know, wow, what a temper. Holy crap, someone locked this guy away in solitary confinement. You know, and you could have done all of that with just a single SSD if you'd spend the money. If you're going to leave comments like that, I don't want to hear from you, because it's not the point of the video, it's not true, and, you know, it's just not worth listening to. Your drivel is not worth listening to. If you're going to tell me that you weren't going to get upset at the machine, well, I really don't believe that. I really just don't believe that. If you fought tooth and nail with this thing for the last hour like I have, you probably would have been pissed off too. So don't tell me you weren't, because you're certainly wrong on the internet. For all the rest of you that are not going to leave dumb comments, I appreciate hearing your feedback in the comment section down below.